So we've all heard the adage, the old adage, that you should keep your head down when making a golf swing. What does that really mean? And more importantly, how does it work? Well, today, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about ophthalmology, eye science, why keeping your head down is so important, and why the thought that staying in the shot is a far better way to approach this type of thinking. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to talk about staying in the golf shot and why biomechanically as well as biologically it's so important and how to actually train it while you're on the range. So keeping your head down is basically an instruction that has been given since the beginning of golf time. You've heard it on TV, you've heard it from instructors, you've heard it from your best friend. But what does it really mean? And why do people say it? So the first thing that we can learn from keeping our head down, or staying in the shot as I like to call it, is that when you keep your head stationary, you rotate around your spine. Spine angle here, I'm rotating around my spine, which essentially is going to create a more consistent swing plane. So when somebody tells you to stay in the shot, or keep your head down, what they're actually telling you is to basically maintain your spine angle. So let's take a quick look at that from a couple of different angles. The first is going to be the caddy view. If I keep my head still and I rotate, but also shift my weight, notice the club stays on plane. Pretty simple, right? But let's say I come out of the shot. Let's see what that looks like. Notice my plane is now rightward. So one more angle here. If we're going down the line, we do the same thing. Keep our head still, we stay on plane because our body is rotating around our spine. Whereas if we come out of the shot, again, notice everything is rightward. And if you look at it face on, it's upwards, which is why we hit thin shots, why we hosel it, all these types of things. So staying in the shot actually has some merit. So now let's discuss how staying in the shot can actually change your strike pattern. For instance, I have a 6-iron here, and if my ball position is too far forward, it's not going to be a big deal for me because I'm right eye dominant, so I'm going to be able to keep my eye on the ball as I turn through. Whereas if I set this ball up way back here, I try to do the same thing, look at what my body has to do in order to stay attached to the ball. You get way on your lead side, there's a lot of sway. And I see this all the time with recreational golfers. So the question is, how do we train this? Well, the good news, it's really freaking simple to do. It's no different than sighting a rifle, or shooting a bow and arrow, any of that stuff. What you actually need to do is you need to find out what your dominant eye is. Some of you may know, but for those of you that don't, it's extremely simple. All you have to do is hold your thumb up in front of your face with both eyes open, and then I want you to close your left eye and close your right eye. Whichever eye the thumb moves for, that is your least dominant eye. Whichever eye your thumb does not move for, that's your dominant eye. For me, it's the right eye. What is it for you guys? So now we're going to sight this rifle in, but since it's really hard to do from behind the ball and lining everything up, how do you do it when you're over the ball? That's the real trick. So here's what I want you guys to do at the range. Once you find out what your dominant eye is, I want you to come in, set your club up, and I want you to make sure that your dominant eye is pointed at the inside back of the ball. So if we were going to draw a line through, we want it to be pointing in this basic direction so that we can see one of these 3 dimples right here. So as we're setting into the ball, we now have set our spine angle. Really simple stuff, right? If, for say, you're left eye dominant, you're going to be more like this, and you're going to have more of an upward angle to your spine. So it'll be something along these lines. And you'll have your head turned. Look like anybody familiar? The next piece then, if we're down the line, is once we have our dominant eye sighted into our dimple on the golf ball where we want to hit it, we then turn our head down the target line. Now I like to use an alignment stick here so that I can essentially verify that my eye line and my spine are together. So in this case, we're aimed at the orange flag. I'm going to make sure that my dominant eye is locked in. And a really good way to practice this is to close your non-dominant eye until you can see the dimple, then open both eyes back up. And then from there, I now know I'm aimed at my target. So I set into my club, my ball. My only goal is to stay in the golf shot. So now, just for a better view of this, I'm going to close my non-dominant eye, my left eye. I'm going to set up to the ball until I can see where I want to hit the ball from. I now see that dimple. I'm going to set into the shot. My spine angle is now set. So as I rotate my head, my eye, my dominant eye, goes directly down my alignment stick. That's the key. Okay, so now let's put it all together. Hit a golf shot and see what happens. Close our non-dominant eye, set our club into the ball, verify we can see our dimple. Now this would be the best angle, but obviously you can't swing a golf club from here. So just make sure that this is a good angle for you. Okay, we're going to rotate our head down our alignment stick, and I can actually see now that I have sighted in my target perfectly. Once you're able to do that one eye, then I want you to practice doing it with two eyes. So we close our non-dominant eye, verify, set into the ball, open both eyes now, rotate our head down our target line, everything looks good, and then we just swing. Wasn't the best strike, but went right at my target. Alright, so let's take one more angle at this. This will be the final angle, and then we'll do your range challenge. Okay, so again, we're going to close our non-dominant eye. For me, that's my left eye. I'm going to verify my target line. Everything looks pretty good. I can see the dimple I want to hit. I'm going to set into the ball, re-verify, but I'm going to open both eyes while I do it. Now I'm aimed at my target. All I have to do is swing. My only goal here, guys, is to stay in the shot. In other words, I want to see impact. So that validates that my spine angle doesn't change. Just like so. The ball literally went right down my target line. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good luck. Remember, keep your head down.